Hello FbCadCam Philippines. Here is a tutorial about arrays, and I'm going to use a simple example of what was an old snake game or a work game, whatever you want to call the kind of game. And I want to demonstrate representing a snake by drawing some circles, and I'm going to draw the head of the snake in yellow and the tail of the snake in green. So here is what it looks like when I run this program. Draws the head, yellow head, and the body parts and the green tail. So there are no variables in here that we're using in this first example, and you can just see it draws at these x specified XY coordinate. So in example number 2, here you can see I am now using a variable. This variable is an array, and instead of calling it the snake's ordered name, let's just use a variable called x. And here we are using a 1D array. So I want to use 5 parts to my array, and I only specify 4. Arrays start at 0. So here is the first part, the second part, third part, fourth part, and fifth part. But we don't need to say 5 right here. We only need to say 4, okay? 4 is actually 5 parts. And you can see all I do is I specify the value. For the first part, the head is going to equal 200. And you can see right here, I use the variable for the head. Value is 200. And for the tail, the last element of the array, you can see it right there. And when I run this program, it looks like this, just like the previous one, except I don't fill in the colors for that. That right there is a 1D array. And in example number 3, here I'm using 2 1D arrays for the Y, doing the very same thing. It's just that I define the values of the Y. Here you can see I added Y right here for each circle that I'm drawing. I'll show what it looks like. Draws the head, the body, and the snake, the tail, sorry. Okay, so now that was using 2 1D arrays. Example number 4, 1 2D array. A 2D array, it still has the 5 parts, and of each 5 part, instead of putting the number 2 right here, that would actually be 0, 1, and 2. But here I just use 1, which is actually 2, which would be 0 and 1. And here's an explanation that I put in there. 0, 0 is for the X, and 0, 1 is for the Y for the snake's head. And here you can see I define 0, 0, 0. This 0 is for the head, this is for the X, and here is for the head, and here is for the Y. And you can see I just, with the 2-dimensional array information in here, and let's run this, and that's what it looks like. You got the head, yellow head, and the green tail, and the body parts in between. Now Now that right there, using one 2D array. Now here's the fifth example. This might be more to everybody's liking. Here we are a point object using the FreeBASIC's type command. And I dimension as a 2D point a variable called P objects. And of course there are 5 elements, 0 through 4 makes 5, and it's only a 1D array of a 2D point object, where I specify the snake head, that's the snake head, and its .x value. And you can see here in the circle command how I can specify it using the dot system or object-oriented programming. This is really not object-oriented programming yet, but it's getting closer to it, a little bit closer than you can see that when I run this program it works. Now I will put these 5 examples on the server, and you guys can use them to help teach FreeBASIC. Thank you. Have a nice day.